Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. If you're managing an organization's digital estate, keeping sensitive info locked down during a live Teams meeting, yeah, that's really only half the battle. Today, we are tackling what I like to call the leaky bucket of data governance. We're going to look at this absolutely brilliant automated solution in Microsoft Purview that makes sure your data stays protected way after everyone has hit leave meeting.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll cover the meeting protection gap, see inheritance in action, walk through the actual Purview configuration, touch on Copilot and extract permissions, break down RAC versus RCD policies, and finally, wrap it up with securing the whole data lifecycle. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The Meeting Protection Gap. Let's pinpoint exactly where sensitive meeting data is literally slipping through the cracks before we look at the fix.
Now, I want you to really think about this. You've got this lockdown, highly secure session, right? You've restricted the lobby, disabled chat copying, maybe even flipped on end-to-end encryption. But what happens to all that highly sensitive data the second the meeting ends? Historically, the artifacts generated, stuff sitting out there in SharePoint or OneDrive, could be left completely unprotected. It's like a goldmine of sensitive data just waiting to be accidentally overshared. Not ideal, right?
It's a stark contrast. If a meeting is created unlabeled, the resulting post-meeting files are completely exposed. That transcript loaded with confidential financial data, it's just a regular, unprotected file. But on the flip side, a meeting created with a sensitivity label ensures those protections actively flow directly down to the artifacts. Automating this whole flow is an absolute game changer for your security posture.
Moving right along to Section 2. Artifact Inheritance in Action. Let's see how we actually plug up this leaky bucket using a really slick automated feature.
So what exactly is artifact inheritance? Basically, it's an automated server-side process where post-meeting files automatically inherit the sensitivity label of their parent meeting the exact moment they're created. This is the crucial bridge that keeps your security settings perfectly consistent. And since it's server-side, you don't have to rely on a user remembering to manually tag a file. It just happens automatically. How great is that?
And just to be super clear on what it covers, this inheritance specifically targets meeting recordings. So your MP4 files, the meeting transcripts, and those loop meeting notes, which covers your agenda and tasks. By applying the parent label here, you're actively preventing unauthorized downloads of encrypted recordings and stopping the accidental oversharing of, say, a highly sensitive executive transcript.
All right, Section 3, Configuring Purview Artifact Inheritance. For the IT admins tuning in, let's look at the exact configuration steps you need to get this running in your tenant.
Admins, definitely pay close attention to this part. Step 1. Your sensitivity labels will absolutely fail to inherit if you don't verify that both the meetings and file scopes are enabled during setup. This is a super common pitfall. Actually, scratch that. It's basically the #1 reason this fails. Step 2. You've got to publish those specific labels to your meeting organizers. And Step 3. You must actively enable the tenant policy.
To nail that third step, you have to go into the Purview portal and manually enable a very specific policy named Apply Inheritance between Teams meetings and artifacts. Just a quick heads up though, this level of advanced governance does require Teams Premium and Microsoft 365 E5 licensing. And it is not on by default, so you literally have to go in and flip that switch yourself.
Okay, Section 4, Copilot and Extract Permissions. Look, AI is a massive driver for all these security updates right now. So let's see how inherited labels directly control how Microsoft 365 Copilot behaves.
This is fascinating. Copilot's ability to read your stuff relies entirely on the extract or copy usage right defined in your sensitivity label. If a user has extract rights, Copilot can jump in, summarize the transcript, and display the generated text right there. But if your inherited label strips away that extract permission, no way. Copilot is completely locked out of summarizing that encrypted content. Instead of spilling the secrets, it just provides a reference link so the user can open the file manually if they have the right access. It's a seriously brilliant safeguard.
Next up, Section 5, RAC versus RCD policies. Let's kind of zoom out for a second and distinguish between two broader site-level policies that help us manage oversharing and AI visibility.
All right, so we have Restricted Access Control, or RAC, and Restricted Content Discovery, RCD. RAC is all about access. It focuses purely on user permissions, limiting exactly who can open files to specific control groups. RCD, on the other hand, is a specialized control that hides highly sensitive data specifically from AI discovery tools. So even if a user technically has site access, an RCD policy will block Copilot from using that site's content as a source. To put it simply, RAC is for human access and RCD is for AI visibility. Makes sense, right?
And finally, Section 6, securing the data lifecycle. Let's bring it all together and see how this builds a truly holistic strategy from the moment you hit send on a meeting invite to years down the line when it's sitting in cold storage.
Ultimately, implementing artifact inheritance is all about automating your governance so that your dark data doesn't just sit unprotected across your digital estate. It essentially guarantees that those super stringent rules you set up for a live, highly confidential session will naturally, automatically flow right down to the MP4 recordings and the text transcripts sitting in OneDrive and SharePoint.
So I'm going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. If you haven't enabled artifact inheritance yet, what's happening to those highly sensitive meeting transcripts right now? Are they just sitting out there totally unprotected, waiting to be swept up by a well-meaning Copilot prompt? I really hope this explainer sparks your curiosity to go check your Microsoft Purview configuration right away. Make sure those meeting and file scopes are enabled and ensure your organization's data lifecycle is genuinely secure. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.